Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I have some breaking news to tell you. We have a suspect in the Louisiana historically black churches. He was responsible for burning these black churches, and the guy's name is Holden Matthews. Now, he is the sheriff's deputy's son. You hear it right. The sheriff's deputy's son, who was 21 years old, that was responsible for these arson that burned three historically black churches in Louisiana. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the CBS this morning's news clipping about it, and then I'm gonna continue the rest of my commentary.
A suspect is in custody this morning in connection with a series of fires at historically black churches in Louisiana. Police arrested 21-year-old Holden Matthews yesterday. He is a son of a sheriff's deputy in the area where the fires gutted three churches. David Bagno is here with details of that investigation. David, it was a surprise to hear that that was a suspect in the case who's related to a law enforcement person.
I just got off the phone with the mayor of Opelousas, who says, I'm so relieved to know that someone's in custody. There's a news conference coming at 10 a.m. We'll find out more. But we can tell you this morning, the suspect's father is the one who helped to turn him in.
We don't want to see any more churches burn.
After those three historic churches were destroyed in just 10 days, Louisiana authorities made a plea to whoever did it.
If you're going to turn to the house of God, turn to it for resurrection, turn to it for forgiveness, and I think that's what he'll give you.
Investigators arrested the 21-year-old suspect, Holden Matthews, on Wednesday evening. Matthews' social media shows he had an interest in black metal music and is a lead singer for a band called Vodka Vultures. Records show Matthews lives in St. Landry Parish, where the churches burned, just a few miles apart. Police have not yet revealed a motive. The churches were empty at the time of each fire. No one was hurt. Earlier in the week, the NAACP said the church burnings were domestic terrorism, targeting people because of their skin color and their faith. Attacks on black churches have long been used to intimidate the black community, most notably during the Civil Rights era. Though police in St. Landry Parish have heightened security at nearby churches, parishioners have not stopped going to church. And all the pastors at all these churches say they will rebuild.
There's still people that need to be helped. There's still ministry that has to be done. So we can't let this setback stop us from doing what God has initially called us to do.
You know, the ATF and the FBI had been brought in to help with this investigation. The mayor even said to me, David, I'm so surprised they made an arrest this quickly. And you guys know I'm from there. That's Cajun country. And you might intimidate those folks, but you will not stop them. You will not stop them.
That's the fact that his dad turned him in.
Yeah.
A lot of people, Gail, were saying on Twitter, can you believe a father making that decision to turn his son in?
Well, the long arm of justice will get you.
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
Well, there you have it. It's funny that the sheriff's deputy, turned his own son in for this heinous crime. And I'm glad he did that. Because on some of the times, parents, even though the child did it, will not, turn their own flesh and blood into custody. Now, again, Holden Matthews is 21. Just like they said in the CBS This Morning clip, that he was the lead singer of a band, of some rock band. But, people saying that they're still looking for the motive of this. I already know what the motive is. And basically, some African Americans know what the motive is as well. He is possibly a white supremacist. And he basically really learning about, and I'm not, like I said, I'm just speculating, but he's basically seeing a lot of white supremacist websites that said it's okay to burn a church. And it happened in the civil rights movement. Now, we already know that there's always been church burnings for the last couple of years. And we already know what started the fire. So again, a lot of people is going to look back and say, yeah, justice is finally served, but they still really looking for the motive of why this coward burning those churches. But I guarantee you, when more facts comes out, they're going to find out that he is also a white supremacist, a white nationalist. is going to find out. I mean, sooner or later, all this stuff is going to find out that this white supremacist is doing this to really, because basically just saying that he's part of a hate group and everything else. But the thing of it is that the father, had no choice but to turn his own son in. And obviously, I applied this. I mean, basically, I applied him because it's hard for parents to turn their own child in, even though he or she is in the wrong. So in this case, he is a son of a sheriff's deputy, and I think now and also it realizes that just because you're a cop doesn't necessarily mean you can be above the law. And he really did the right thing and said, you know what, I gotta set an example for all fellow police officers. If my child, committed any heinous crimes like this, I don't care if that's my son or it's my daughter, I'm gonna turn them in. So hats off to the sheriff's deputies or the sheriff's deputy that was responsible for turning his own son in, because again, like I said, it's hard for parents, even though the kids were in the wrong, it's hard for parents to turn them in. And I'm glad that, finally there's been an arrest made. Holden Matthews, 21, is definitely responsible for all these 3 church burnings in Louisiana. Let me know what you think. Like, click, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. And remember, click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.